Andrew Seyfried here. I got a question for you. Can these state tests change a student's life? I don't know about you, but I often think that these state tests that we take are a waste of time. My kids have way more learning. There's way more exposure. There's way more things that I can show other people what my kids can do. They have entire portfolios of learning. We have all sorts of work that the kids can show to display what they know. But these tests come no matter what. So my question is, can they change a student's life? And my answer is absolutely, because in fact, they changed mine. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. Let me scoot down over here and let me tell it to you. So number one, when I was growing up, I was always in trouble. And I'll be honest with you, I earned it. Okay. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, no way. How is that possible? Well, believe it or not, I was kind of a lot to handle. So when this isn't me, although it could have been, I was in kindergarten. I remember specifically the day that I had poured a whole bunch of peanuts all over my plate. And the teacher was like, now, Andrew, you're supposed to make sure that you finish all that food before snack or before we leave, or you don't get to get on the bus. I remember being terrified. I remember starting to cry. I'm kindergarten, 5 years old, going, oh, I don't know if I can eat all these peanuts. And the teacher, to her credit, she came over, she hugged me. She's like, Andrew, it's okay. You're going to be able to go home. I'm not going to keep you here. But I remember that moment, I thought to myself, well, wait a minute, which is it? Do I have to finish all these or you're not going to? I don't know, but I digress. In first grade, I remember specifically getting in trouble and being sent to the carpet because I was a lot to handle and they were passing out like wax lips. I don't know if it was Halloween or what it was, but I remember specifically learning how to do this. Here, let me show you something. I remember doing that as a kindergartner because I was jealous and mad that they had passed out these wax lips and I didn't get to have one. So I learned how to do that. But in second grade, I had the same kind of thing. Third grade, I had the same kind of thing. It kept happening. I kept getting in trouble. And I'll be honest with you, I earned it. But in third grade, something else happened. I remember having two teachers talking above my head, and they were passing out papers. It was the results of the state tests. I remember them saying, they seemed bewildered, okay? They were befuddled. They're like, what is happening? They said to each other, well, maybe he's just not being challenged enough. I don't know what it is. But they were genuinely confused. And I remember looking at my test and it said 98 and 99. And I was like, what does that even mean? In 98, I had scored a 98 in math and I had scored a 99 in reading and ELA. And as it turned out, they found out that I just wasn't being challenged enough. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm still a lot to handle. Okay. But I do way better whenever I'm using all of my efforts, all of my mind, all of my energy into something. I can channel all of my ADHDism, all of that extra energy I have for something productive. So I just want to encourage you guys a little bit that you can start thinking about these state tests, because one of the main things that can happen, and let me show you this. 79% of schools use state test results to place students in advanced learning programs or provide extra support services. I was one of those kids who was put from one of the lower tiered classrooms, and the classrooms that we had were based on tiers. And I was put into one of the advanced student classrooms, and it changed my life forever. Now, at first, I didn't like it because I was like, where's all my friends? But eventually, I made new friends and I was able to begin to succeed in ways that I never before had thought even possible. In fact, I ended up graduating in the top 10 of my class. Now, I'll be honest with you, my wife always wants me to remind everybody that my class only had 72 kids. So being in the top 10 wasn't that impressive, okay? But I was happy with it, okay? And I never would have thought that it was possible for me to be able to do that. But especially whenever I was just a little boy like this. That's right. That's my kindergarten picture. I know I'm gorgeous. I'm super cute. I don't want to say gorgeous, but look at Alf. Alf's awesome right there. Isn't it great? And look at the mouth on that kid. My goodness. I bet that was a lot of fun. So yes, these state tests can change a student's life because it changed mine. That's why I want to encourage you, wherever you are right now in your state test journey, let's make the most out of what we can do, because we're not taking these state tests for those kids that it doesn't help. Okay, for those kids who write the one-word answer. That's okay. What we're doing is we're trying to find those kids that this is going to change their life forever. We want to find those kids who maybe are a lot to deal with, a lot to handle, just like me, and they end up doing marvelously on these tests. And we're like, wow, look at this. Now, it might be the other way. It might be like, hey, this kid really needs some extra help. Let's make sure we get him. Now, Either way, no matter what it is, we have to test all the kids if we're going to be able to find out the ones that we need to help. So that's why I'll encourage you a little bit, that dive into these trainings that we're getting ready to do. Take them seriously, because they can change a child's life, because they changed mine. Thanks so much.